If you ever believed that all teachers do is live, work, and breathe at school, you would be wrong. Donald Jackson, a 6th grade science teacher at Johns Hopkins Middle School, not only teaches students, but also owns a radio station. Mr. Jackson's radio station, 99 Gems the Berg, has been running since 1963, but got its slogan in 2013 with the help of Jackson and his fellow co-workers. But it all began when Mr. Jackson needed help paying for his college funds.
While in college, I needed extra money to pay my way through college. So I would leave like on weekends and go to the city where the radio stations were at work on weekends while I was still studying. So that's how I got into the radio business.
After finishing college, he decided to stay at the station because he enjoyed coming back every weekend. He soon became the manager after the station was given an FCC grant because they applied to join in 2013 to 2014. He was the leader of the organization at the time, and after the FCC was granted, he was presumed as the manager. When they were first approved, they didn't have a name and were only known as 99.1 FM. He and his team wanted the station to be named, which is when they decided to go with 99 Jams the Berg. As the manager, Jackson helps with engineering by confirming that the show is running smoothly, as well as working with the program director to make sure they have the correct program on air. He also does administrative work. He additionally co-hosts shows.
I also co-host some shows, though, by the way. I co-host a gospel show on Sundays, the Angels Gospel Show, and I also co-host the Everything Health Show on Mondays, Monday evening at 6 o'clock.
In the future of his company, he hopes to have a live host in every slot.
We went to the station to meet Tony Charles, the program director at the radio station. He says that his job is to help program the station, and he also helps with the hiring aspect of the job.
A very pleasant good morning to you, Tampa Bay. You're listening to 99 Jams the Berg.
When Charles was young, he was intrigued by DJs and radio directors. His first job as a DJ was working for the James Brown, famously known for his hit song, I Got You. He found himself working under Brown after applying for jobs and, quote, getting lucky. He shares his experience working for James Brown.
Well, he was all right. He just was a serious businessman. He didn't, a lot of foolishness he just didn't tolerate, But, and I didn't really work for him that long because, like I say, I wasn't into the suit and tie thing. And, I left there and went to another station.
Charles has been part of the radio business for over 40 years. He says that radio business has changed drastically over time. With radio being less popular than it was when he was younger, he said that he had to adapt to the advancement of technology.
I would say that, to me, by me being old school, I like radio much better than what it in the past. But, it's technology. You have to grow with the technology. So a lot of things I had to change if I wanted to stay in radio.
He adds how the, quote, new generation has made radio something different and all they want to do is talk. But on the contrary...
Don't get me wrong, the change has its advantages because, say, the computers. We used to do a commercial. You had to take a razor blade, you cut tapes, and you had to know how to do this. You had to know where to cut. You had to know, and make sure that you came in. Now with the computers, you don't need to do that.
He specifically enjoys the freedom of 99 Jams the Berg. An example of the freedom the station has is to pick the songs, except you must keep in mind what the people want. You must feel out your audience to know what to play for them. The station gets involved in the community by getting invited to local events. An example of one of these events they attended is the Collard Green Festival. At these events, they provide entertainment for people at the festival. The station tries to keep their music family-friendly so everyone can enjoy themselves without having to worry about anything explicit. Sometimes inappropriate words are in the songs, and when there is, Mr. Jackson calls about it or Charles makes sure to not use the song again. An average day at the station consists of him playing music, running the show, playing commercials, and interviewing people. They have guests that come in often. Jackson makes calls to alert Charles about the upcoming guests. Sometimes surprises pop up, and this is what Charles has to say about it.
That's the exciting part about the job. It's not the same thing that's happening every day. There's something different that you will encounter.
When Charles can't find a solution to a problem in the station, he calls Mr. Jackson. Due to Jackson having to teach students, he can't drop everything to fix a problem at the station, so he uses a program on his phone to resolve the problem.
Let's look at this, and if you have any question, let me know.
After the day of teaching, the radio station works as his getaway to enjoy music and have fun. Dealing with students can start to become chaotic, so on weekends he uses his free time at the station. We interviewed his students to get the inside scoop of what it's like to have Mr. Jackson as a teacher. Students say he has his own special methods.
He usually does papers. Right now in class we're playing a blue kit, so that's another method.
How does that you're playing a blue, so how does that does it help you remember things that are
Yeah, it goes through a bunch of questions, so we memorize them. Mostly worksheets, and then sometimes we do projects and card things.
Students were asked about if they were aware of Mr. Jackson's station. Most said no. We then asked their thoughts on the idea.
I think it's cool having my teacher run a radio station.
While Jackson doesn't share much about the station, some of his students are aware of his running business. Sometimes the students will call him out while teaching and say he sounds like a radio host. After being asked if there are any opportunities for students to help, Mr. Jackson says any volunteers that are willing to work are always welcome. If a student ever wants to work at a station in the future, they will not need a degree to get started. If the student needs training, the station can help.
You don't really need a degree. Well, to volunteer with 99 Jams, you don't need any degree. All you need is your interest and be willing to want to participate and, journalism. If you have a background in journalism, that helps. But the radio station is designed to train. So if you already have an interest in radio and you want to learn a specific area, we will help you along that. We will guide you. Like for engineering, we will train you to become an engineer. But if you have gone to college and you study something, whether it's as a show host, a writer, sports, news, or engineering, by all means, then come on over. We will be too happy to have you on board, because then you can train some of our guys there.
So next time you think a teacher is just a teacher, think into account that their lives are far more interesting than you could ever believe. Some might own a business or even a radio station.